Hello, this is Scott Letourneau, the CEO of NCP. Hope you're doing well today. Since 1997, we've been forming U.S. companies in all 50 states for both residents and non-U.S. residents. And there's many steps to make sure you have a complete formation to make sure you're protected. A lot of people go online and they only see the next couple steps ahead of them. I need to file articles for an LLC, get a tax ID number to open my bank account, and that's all they care about. It's really important when you form a separate legal entity that you do things properly after you form it to make sure you have protection to protect the LLC or corporate veil and to protect it against a lawsuit situation or even the IRS. So let's address some of the common costly mistakes that are made after formation of a separate legal entity. First one is not completing the entity record book and issuing Stalker membership certificates. So even with an LLC, we did research. We hired attorneys to look at court cases when it came to piercing the LLC veil. And many judges wanted to look at corporate formalities because LLCs didn't have many cases. So they said they should have formalities like a corporation. Sometimes you'll hear things like, well, I'm going to do an LLC, it's easier. LLC is actually more complex in different decisions, from taxation options to operating agreements to matching up of the language in the operating agreement to the taxation type. And so it's very important that you complete the minutes, meetings, resolutions, and all those things when you form an entity. When you work with NCP to form your entity, not only do we have videos in every section that go into detail, especially avoiding the common mistakes, but we also have our forms are all fillable forms. So we give you an online version. And if you choose, you can also have a record book shipped to you also. And we also have an option where if you want us to fill in all your stock certificates, ownership interests, and help you through that process, we have a separate service for that also. So it's very important that you do this when you set up an entity. And when you issue stocks or membership interests, that's part of capitalization. So one of the mistakes is people have no capitalization. They open an entity, they put money in the account. Maybe they had a check already for services, or money is going to be wired. So you want to make sure you have proper capitalization. We researched court cases on this and found cases in California, for example, where they had $50,000 of capitalization. It was deemed to be too thinly capitalized for that particular tech industry. So some states you can capitalize as low as $200. Very important, especially if you have partners, to make sure, are you capitalizing, capital, cash, or services, and does that create a taxable event? Do you have a business license? Do you need a business license? Are you a home-based business? Are you an online e-commerce business? These things are important when it comes to compliance. Maybe not initially to get the bank account open, but maybe it comes into play when it comes to insurance and other factors that are important to your business. It's one of the things the IRS might look at to determine if you're a hobby or a business. Do you have any separate books or accounting? This is definitely the number one factor the IRS looks at. A lot of people start a business, they get excited. Could be in e-commerce. Maybe it takes them, instead of 6 weeks, it takes them 3 months to get their inventory in from China, and it's towards the end of the year, and they have this big loss at the end of the year, or they have other expenses. They went to a couple seminars, some virtual online events, and they have a W-2 income. They want to write off all these losses against their income. And if you have no books or no accounting, the IRS naturally looks at it like, were you running a real business? Now, you might be thinking, well, I haven't made any money yet. But even if you're losing money, you got to do a budget and know when you're going to break even. And having, whether it's QuickBooks or a lot of sellers outside the United States use Xero, you have to have these things in place. They're really critical. Now, if you have a partner, you want to have a buy-sell agreement that says if your partner leaves, how are you going to handle the valuation of the company and the terms of the payments? And over the last 24 years of NCP, most lawsuits we've seen have actually are between partners suing each other over who thinks they own what percentage what it's worth when they're going to exit, because they never took the time to put a buy-sell agreement together. When you work with NCP, we have a template buy-sell agreement we provide you. We do recommend going to a law firm, which we could recommend to customize it for your situation, but it'll save you time and money. No sales tax registrations in the state where you have nexus. This is very important because now we have economic nexus after the 2018 U.S. Wayfair versus South Dakota Supreme Court case. So there are many states that have transactions and sales thresholds both. So you might pass 200 transactions and create economic nexus and need to register. You may have physical nexus. Even if you sell on Amazon FBA, there's still a couple states you have to register even if Amazon's collecting. There might be a small state tax like in Washington, the B&O tax, or in Illinois, the ROT tax. So there's things that come into play with sales tax registrations. Remember, if you have a, you're on Shopify, you have a merchant account, and you turn on your tax settings in your shopping cart, it's illegal to collect sales tax without a license first. So we can help you get licenses in all the states. We know that very well. We talked a little bit about formalities and completing the record book. So on an ongoing basis, even if you have a single member LLC disregarded, it is a separate legal entity from yourself. So we provide you formalities for a single member LLC so you can demonstrate as a separate legal entity, not as the alter ego. You made decisions to protect the entity veil. No business plan or budgeting. This is another factor the IRS looks at when we look at cases involving, are you a hobby or a business? So a real business would have some type of a business plan or budget. Could it be an Excel spreadsheet where it's mapped out over 5 years and it's on a monthly basis the first 2 years? Yes, that's deemed to be adequate. These things all go into play to help you running your business. And these are the type of things that we help you with at NCP. We have checklists. All these things are different bonuses, different areas of support we provide. And we have partners. When you form an entity with us, we do a manual review of every entity that's formed because we want to make sure it's set up properly. We're not just a mill that does thousands of online filings. Nobody looks at it. We want to make sure it's done properly so you're protected no matter what state you're in the United States or if you're outside in a different country. We have all the resources to work with you. So if you'd like to reach out to us to find out about our different LLC or corporate packages, pricing, services, reach out to the contact information video below. You'll be able to either call us, email us, or make an appointment to speak to our team, and we'll help you move forward with confidence. Again, my name is Scott Letourneau, and have an outstanding day.